Good morning, Blue Lulus. How you doing? The stock market is about to open here in about an hour, and it's looking very bleak. Apparently, the futures opened last night showing the S&P 500 down 15%. Global markets all across the world are down about 4 to 6%, all as a result of the Joker's trade war. People are comparing these numbers to 2008 or 1987 numbers, and in 1987 they called it Black Monday. Do you remember watching Wolf of Wall Street when people were just self-exiting out windows? Yeah, that was Black Monday. And I won't mince words. There's going to be a lot of hurt today. There's going to be a lot of people who lose everything starting today, because when we have a crash of this magnitude, it is not only going to affect the people who have money in the stock markets, right? Because even if you don't, your boss does, your corporation does, and if they start to lose money, they're not just going to eat that cost, they are going to pass that cost on to you by laying you off and losing your jobs. And then when you lose your job, you're unable to pay for your mortgage, and when you're unable to pay for your mortgage, your house gets foreclosed on. If enough people on your block's house gets foreclosed on, that means that all the rest of the houses in your area have a value that is far lower than it was 2 months ago, and that tanks your home value as well. And if you don't own a home, it's still true that every single thing that you touch and interact with is somehow linked to the health of this stock market. And the people on that side absolutely know that. There's a lot of people who are remaining anonymous that are coming out and saying, well, we are all terrified and we all know how bad this is going to be, but none of us want to be the first one to come out and say something about it. First? What do you mean first? You would not be the first person to say anything about it. What in the colonial nonsense is that? But that's always been the point, right? That has been the idea of making it so that our voices are invalid automatically. The dehumanization of people who think and feel anything other than the way that you do makes it so that eventually you will be wrapped up in that swell, in that wave, and you feel like you are just as alone as you made us try to feel. Well, let me give you a little piece of advice. Don't be first. Do it together. You can get together with every single other person who has two brain cells to rub together and can see that there is no other possible outcome than absolute terror, horror, and poverty, and say no. Don't do it by yourself. If you all do it, then you're not the first, okay? But their fear is well placed, because we know that the Joker is a narcissist, and there's nothing more dangerous than a cornered narcissist. And he is well aware that if he doesn't backpedal on this trade war, that there is absolutely nothing he can do to save it. And even the best red-pilled spin, even the most artfully and thoughtfully woven nonsense will not save him. Not to mention, I think it hurts him deep down in his soul that the only people that are left on his side are those that he disdains the most. The people who do live in the trailer parks, who are poverty stricken, who have never accomplished anything in terms of education. He disdains those people. And now he knows that those are the only ones that are out there coming to his rescue. He was interviewed on Fox yesterday, and they said, what do you think they, the protesters, wanted? What do you think that they need right now from you? Protesters for different reasons. You're protesting also because, they just don't know. I've watched very closely. Why are you here? They really weren't able to say, but they were there for a reason, perhaps. But a lot of them are there because they're following the crowd. A lot of them are there because what they witnessed was a terrible thing. What we all saw was a terrible thing, and we've seen it over the years. We haven't, there was one horrible example, but you haven't seen any other terrible examples. You know better than anyone who would know it. And I know. I've seen it too. I've seen it before when I was president. I've seen it, and I think it's a shame. I think it's a damn shame. It's gotta stop. What? That's the best he can do. So all of you guys that are out there going, oh, these are paid protesters, oh, that's just George Soros. He knows that they're not paid protesters. He 100% understands that all those people are out there protesting him, and his ego will not allow him to say it out loud. He knows how bad it is. And all of these plans that he's making are not only dangerous fiscally, it's just stupid for him personally. Like, do you remember his good old buddy, old pal, his friend who lived on Billionaire Row, who had the island and the airplane and all of that? Look what happened to him when he threatened to take down all of his rich friends. I mean, in theory, I guess it's possible that he chose to self exit at the most perfect, wonderful time when all of the cameras are down and there's no security guards around. I mean, yeah, I suppose that's possible, but it's one thing to make enemies out of us, but you're making enemies out of the other most powerful people in the world. And that doesn't typically end well for anybody. And I think deep down he knows that. So, what do you guys think? Do you think that he's going to become gracious Joker and change his mind and find that he's had a change of heart and that God told him that maybe there was another way? Or do you think that he's going to strap himself to this angry mule and ride off into the sunset, taking all of us with him? But no matter what happens, we are stronger together. We are here. This will get better. We have been through terrible things before. We can do it again. And just know that it's important for you to stay. Stay here, please. You are needed. I do not want what happened on Black Monday to happen to any of you or any single person. Promise me you'll try again tomorrow. Okay? If you enjoyed this video, give me a like, comment, and a follow. Join our blue planets nice and cozy over here. And as always, keep your eyes up, keep your feet on the ground. I'll see you next time. Ta-ta!